This is part 2 of 10 cool tools. I hope you enjoy. This is my thingy tool. It actually has a proper name. It's a piercing tool, and there's different brands and different varieties. This is the one I tend to use most, and let me tell you why. It's nice and light. But these other tools that are out there also have double duties, double reasons, and they're just as well. It's one of those pick your favorite and make it work for you. This is by Spellbinders, and this is called Tool-in-One, and it's got the pointy end, the piercing tool, and with a really neat and tight cap to protect it. And it also has a little scrap. So if you're using a die cut, especially a really detailed one or a fine one, you just brush it across the die when you're done, or even with the die paper out, you can brush it against that, or put it on a mat and brush it. So this is really good and has its uses, especially if you're using dies. This other one is a multi-use tool, and it's by Sizzix. And it's called the Multi-Tool Starter Kit, and it has what I call the thingy, or the piercing tool, included in that kit, along with 2 or 3 other things. So it's also a really good one. But let me show you why I like this tool and why I use this tool a lot, no matter which brand or style you choose to pick. It just actually is really good to lift up stuff, to poke into the little crevices, to get your little sticker, to put it on there without putting it in your fingers and not able to see. Also, for those of you that use a lot of score tape, you can just use it to lift up the top layer of the score tape, hold the paper down, and then you've got your project, and it's easy to use. Probably most of you have seen this in one form or another. It's what they officially call the powder tool, and normally it's used when you're doing embossing. You push the powder on the paper after you've done your stamping, and that way when you put the glitter and the powder over, it only sticks where you want it to, and it's a really good tool for that. But I, Mary Jo, with Barrel Crafts, have come up and seen and copied and stolen some other ideas for it. And so this now has become my favorite powder tool. And this one is actually made by EK Tools, and the official title is Powder Tool. And I think that's a great name for it. So other than just the embossing, I have found for some, like stickers. Let's say you're going to use this sticker and you don't want it to be sticky on the back. You just take the powder and put it on your sticker, and your sticker is no longer sticky. It can stay sticky in a corner if that's what you want, which is what I did on this one, but it is not sticky anywhere else. And you might be using this because you're trying to build something and you want to put layers under it. But anyway, that's a neat thing. Or you just don't want to have a sticker, but you want to be able to use this. So that's a really cool idea. The other thing is, you know, it's really popular now to have the slider cards or the camera cards or the flip-up cards. And if you put some of this where there's moving parts and practice a bit before you actually complete your project, you have now made it much easier for the slider mechanisms to work. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of other ideas out there for using this, and I'm sure if you give me time, I'll come up with more. But right now, that's enough to keep me busy and happy about this tool. If you're like me, tying bows can be stressful. And I have found a way that I now love making bows, and it's with this bow maker, and it's made by Joy Crafts. I'm amazed I could read that with my senior eyes, but I could. Anyway, it's this bow maker, and this is the one I love and use the most. I actually have about 3 of them: craft room, travel, and just in case. And let me show you a really neat case that I have found, or that I've heard about, and so of course I copied it. It's actually a gum pack. You take the gum out, and then you have this wonderful container, and that's what you put your bow maker in. So you need the bow maker, and of course you must need some gum, and gum is good for crafting. Anyway, let's get started with a quick little demo on how easy this bow maker is to use. It comes with 4 sticks. You really only need to use 2. This will tell you how big your bow is going to be. And just for sample's sake, I'm going to make it that big. You just take your strip of ribbon, you're going to wrap it around and cross it over. And then the one on the top, you're going to put it through the back. Whoops, just like this. And you're going to pull it over. Are you getting it? We're almost done with this bow. You tie the knot, you slip it off, and is that not the cutest and easy and simplest bow that you can make? And again, you can make it in any size you want. It also comes with little picture instructions, and I put that in my case too. Here's another tool that I really like. It's fairly new. It's made by Score Tape, and it's called the Stacker. I'm sure all of us, if you're more than a first day crafter, use that double stick tape. Here is a really cool way to store it and use it. You just grab all of your stuff, stick it on there. The one that you're going to actually use is the one I suggest that you put on the top, and then it's easy to wind it. Now when you get the stacker, you'll notice that there's 2 little blue tabs here, and there's a centerpiece. It was designed that the centerpiece would hold your tools and what you needed to use, and to take the little blue caps off and fill it up with garden sand or something like that to give it just a little bit of weight. And I think it was really smart because they didn't do that when they shipped it to you because they didn't want you to have to pay that extra postage. And they actually say that, and I think that's really cool and neat. So I did. I went to the local gardening store and I just bought a little tiny bag of sand, filled it up just a little bit to where it was still easy enough for me to lift, but to give it a little bit of weight. Now the really cool thing about this is you can actually use it while it's on the stand. So what I do is, here's my 2 tools I use with it, what I call my thingy, and just a little empty, oh, what is that called, that you stick your stamps on it, a little block, a little acrylic block. And then I just take what I need, leave it on there, put it on the paper like this, and I use the block to rip it easily. And you can see that it comes off real easily like that. And then if I'm in the middle or I'm going to switch it to a different piece of paper, I can just stick this on the side and it stays. And then when I'm done with the whole thing, I'll just take it off, roll it up, put my tools away, and I'm done with that. This is the last one I'll be showing today, but definitely not my least favorite. This is called the Stash and Store, and it's really a very cool tool. Seeing your eyes again. It's So Emma is who it's by. And it actually was created for people who do sewing and to put their sewing tools in. But I tell you, I love this for crafting, and I'll even tell you, I've got 4 of them. They come in a lot of colors. There's gray, there's this teal, or mint they call it, a pink, a red. I think it might come in black. But anyway, let me show you why I like it. I craft at home, I craft in my living room, I craft in my craft room, and I travel and craft. So I need to grab things, have them ready, and have it portable. So here's what I do, is I have this is the Stash and Store is the proper name. I call it my thing that catches everything. And all the tools that I showed you today actually fit in here with room for a lot more. Each of these little sections are rubber sections, so they will bend, change to fit whatever it is you need to put in there. Like I said, I have 4 of these. I have one of these that I use with my scan and cut machine. I have one that I use when I go places, one that stays on my craft room table, and one just because you always need that extra one. So this is kind of how I set up my work area. I actually get a placemat, and it's a placemat from the Dollar Tree. We all probably have used them and seen them. That's easy to work on. So I take my placemat, I take my tool caddy, my store caddy. I have my stacker that we talked about earlier. I usually put my project off to the side. And just another little thing is I have the little metal things that you put like your magazines in, and that's where I store my projects. So I have that on the side of me. I have these tools in front of me, and here's space to work on my project. So I think that's it for this video. There you go. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. P.S. Oops, I forgot just a couple things, so let me bring it up really quick. If you have ideas or different ways of using the things I brought up, please drop a comment and let me know. I'd love to share it with viewers. Also, if you'd like to see more videos from me, Mary Jo, Barrel of Crafts, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Again, thank you so much. Have a good day.